And get Newsmax free on Roku, YouTube, Xumo, Pluto, Amazon Fire, and smart TVs like Samsung, Sony, Vizio, or LG. It's even free on your smartphone. Just download the free Newsmax app and start watching. So find out about WOCA and its dangerous plans for America on Grant Stinchfield tonight. Just tune into Newsmax TV. It's real news for real people.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has changed the Russian constitution that would enable him to stay in power another 15 years.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Some common diseases to watch for when growing asparagus. That's coming up on This Land of Ours.
Whether at your local green market, corner grocery store, or neighborhood restaurant, you're supporting your community when you buy local.
Food grown right here by Florida farmers doesn't need to be shipped as far.
That saves fuel and cuts emissions.
Buying local is more than just supporting area businesses and growers.
It's buying fresh, wholesome, and delicious food for your family.
Products you trust from people you trust.
Fresh from Florida.
Good for the environment.
Good for the economy.
Good for you.
Hi, I'm Greg Peterson of the Peterson Farm Brothers. If you've seen our videos, you know we're proud to be farmers. Farming can be dangerous. Never assume location or depth of underground utilities or pipelines. Before you start any work on your farm, call 811 or visit clickbeforeyoudig.com to have underground lines located. It only takes a minute and can save your life.
Never assume the location or depth of underground lines. Always call 811 or visit clickbeforeyoudig.com before you start work. A message from the Pipeline Operators for Ag Safety Campaign.
When growing asparagus, there are a number of common diseases to watch for. Rust is one of them and presents several symptoms depending on the season. The easiest way to prevent rust is to cut back the ferns as they die over the winter and dispose of the infected pieces. Crown rot is another disease that's hard to prevent and get rid of. It can live in soil for a long period, spreading through infected air, soil, and seeds. Asparagus is also prone to purple spot disease during particularly wet or windy weather. The good news is that the spots don't affect the taste or texture of your asparagus spears, and they often disappear entirely during cooking. Gray mold is most common in wet, humid conditions and in soils with a low pH. Standing water harbors spores and makes it possible for the disease to live a long time in the soil. When it comes to preventing and treating asparagus diseases, it's important to act early and often. I'm Kathy Isom, Southeast AgNet.
Sun and Fun's Aerospace Expo is back and better than ever from April 13th through the 18th. It's not just an air show, it's everything aviation in 2021. And you don't want to miss it. Join fellow aviation enthusiasts as we watch mighty warbirds in flight, vintage bombers to modern fighter jets, and our headlining act, the Blue Angels, as they celebrate their 75th anniversary, where they'll unveil their newest Super Hornet. Watch the night sky gleam with our first ever amazing drone light show, aerobatic flyers, a fireworks display, and Wall of Fire. Our event takes place on 1,000 spacious outdoor acres at the Lakeland Linder International Airport, where you'll have a front row ticket to all the action at Sun and Fun's world-famous showcase of the past, present, and future of aviation. Children under 10 are free, so make plans to bring the whole family and experience 6 exciting days of the Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo. For ticket information and show schedules, visit us at flysnf.org.
On the first and third Wednesday mornings each month at 9:05 a.m., Robert Colin with On Top of the World will be our guest as we learn all about the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at Ocala's premier adult active community, On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will bring guests, and you're sure to enjoy our little chats. After all, you deserve the world, and we bring it to you.
Oh, hey, Grandpa.
Oh, hey, Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa.
Yes, buddy?
Can you take me fishing this weekend?
I'd love to. Have you noticed a change in your hearing over the years? Missing the little things in life? Visit Beneficial Hearing in Ocala today. Their expert team of audiologists will make sure you never miss a moment. Call Beneficial Hearing today at 352-629-4418 or visit them online, beneficialhearing.com.
Thursday, the 8th, at 10 a.m., Higher Education Happenings will feature the College of Central Florida's Director of Academic Advisory and First-Year Success, Shanita Hart, who will talk about the process students use to transfer to another university or college after completing their associate in arts degree at CF. To reach your academic goals, the first step is to learn the process to move forward. Again, that's April 8th at 10 a.m. It's educational news from CF and WOCA.
Tune in to The Retirement Referee with Steve Caruso.
One thing we know for sure is that life isn't static.
Sundays at 8 a.m. on The Source, 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
Fridays at 9 a.m., WOCA and the Early Learning Coalitions of Marion County will share information on the coalition, what it does, voluntary pre-kindergarten, and more. Roseanne Fricks, Chief Executive Officer, and Elizabeth Yola, Chief Program Officer, will be guests. A bright future starts with preparation now. Knowledge is power, and good beginnings equal great endings. We all benefit from the greatness, so be sure to tune in each Friday at 9 a.m. for early learning right here on The Source. Does she know the plan? She's the one with the green thumb in front of me. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see it too. But that's all right.
I washed my hands.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Good morning, Carol Ann.
Good morning, Joe. How are you?
So this is the way Tuesday's going to be from now on.
Good. You know, that's how it is.
That's how it is. So she came in prepared this morning with her laptop.
Yeah, I do every so often.
I don't know why they call that a laptop. It
sits on the table. Yeah, it sits on the table. Yeah, it's heavy in your
I used to have a lap, no more. I got a belly. They got to make me a
when
instead of a laptop, belly top.
Belly top. Rested on the top.
Just right there.
Yeah.
You get to.
It's a whole thing. Yeah.
It's to the point where no.
Yeah, that point of no return. That's when you have a desktop.
Yeah, it's like okay. So it's
actually
sad.
This is actually a Chromebook. But it's an old Chromebook. It's terrible. It actually told me the other day, after this year, it will not auto-update.
Oh, I would, some of these computers, I wish they would not auto-update.
Well, this one's just some of their, just the basic background stuff to update. And it's mine doesn't,
If I have something that's working, leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Leave me alone. It's working. I don't need the fancy and that fancy, because there's some guy somewhere, some girl or guy making money going, I can improve this here, and there's another smartphone that'll drive him crazy. No, it works. I like it.
Leave
me alone.
Well, nothing changes in this when they do it. It's more over like they fix little patches in security and stuff like that, but
which shouldn't happen in the first place.
Well, you get people who are smarter than the average bear trying to get into it. Yes. But it's like, that's how old it is, though. It's not going to update all by itself after I think December of this year, and it stopped running Flash December of last year. So
when did it stop running Flash?
It stops running the Flash video program.
Why?
Because it no longer supports it, because Flash has improved beyond the capabilities of this machine.
I like plants. At least you put them in the ground and they grow.
Yeah, and again, though, there's new varieties a lot of times of those, too.
All I know
that are improved.
Let's see. The only thing I've ever learned about plants is a tree, really, as you cut it, you make a V in it, and you stick the other end.
To graft them together.
Grafting. That's the only thing I've ever learned.
Really?
Way back when.
Way back, yeah. That's not easy to do either.
I mean, luck on it all the time.
Yeah, if you could be successful, it's judging, making sure you have the correct size pieces.
Yeah, well, you can't put a 2-inch in a 1-inch.
No, it doesn't work too well. Actually, you can. It's getting that V cut correctly to where you get that cambium layer that matches up.
They have
and
to.
It'll
the
heal
center
over.
has to match the other center.
It'll heal over, but
you got to match.
Yeah, it's got to match good.
It's got to get the nutrients right through the. I'll call it through the trunk.
Right. Yeah. Through all the different layers.
Right. So the layers have to match the other layers, and then you put it together, and then you wrap the heck out of it,
and let it go. Yeah, you go say a little prayer over it and go, grow if you will, please.
I grew up in Connecticut, and we had a big, I think it was an elm in front, because Elm City, New Haven, big elm in front of the house. Big, I mean, it was about 3 foot in diameter.
Oh,
it's a big one.
Yeah.
And a car hit it.
Oh.
And my dad went out there, and they were going to chop the thing down.
And it hit it good.
Oh, it hit it good, yeah. It tore the limb right off of it, the lower limb.
Yeah.
And they had I would say a hole, about, what's it about?
Yeah, it's bigger.
2.5.
Yeah.
2.5 round.
Okay, size of a platter. Yeah.
Size of, but oblong.
Right.
Okay. And the tree was trying to heal itself.
Right. Because the bark will grow in.
Right. But it was all exposed. And my dad looked at it, and he wasn't he was going to
put the tree down.
No, he didn't want to put the tree down.
Oh, okay.
No, but he was a jack of all trades.
Gotcha.
And he could fix just about anything. He looked at it, and in his head he said, "That's exposed, and we're going to get winter and everything." So what he did, he mixed cement, and he patched over it.
Yeah.
And that cement stood on there forever.
Yeah.
Ever, and that tree
healed around it.
It healed around the cement,
part of
but that cement was always exposed.
Yeah.
It never covered the cement.
No,
because it was protecting it.
Right, and it couldn't, because there was nothing to grow to on the cement. But where it had healed, there was a tree. I forget which side here of the paddock mall on one of those side roads.
Oh yeah,
and it had a great big. It was an oak with a great big hole in the bottom, probably about 4 feet high from the ground, 4 feet, great big, and they pumped that sucker full of concrete.
Oh, did they do that?
They
sometimes it depends how far it went into deepness.
How far it goes, whether or not, and that can be done, and especially on a tree that was that large, had that big of a wound.
I like that wound.
Big wound. That kind of drastic repair can be successful. I mean, it's one that had good root system. It was a good hardy tree to start with, so it was just we ripped one arm off.
Yeah, he did that in the 50s.
Yeah, okay.
I was a little.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I was a little sprout myself. Yeah. But something like that. You remember, and that tree, it heaved some of the sidewalk. But this, and of course, all the trees that grow, because we grew up in the city.
Right.
You have your building where you live.
Right.
Then you have your sidewalk. Then you have this little piece of
a strip of
dirt.
Right.
That went all the way down. Everybody had a little bit of grass.
Yeah,
there.
And you had to maintain that. That was part of.
But that was owned by the city.
Right. But you maintained.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And you look down. It was all nice.
All
and
trees
then you had
grass,
the curb, of course, and the street. And it was sitting there, and I forget what year they chopped it down eventually.
It was probably overhanging or beginning to threaten the roadway, maybe, of that it was undermining with the root system.
I don't remember it being sick per se.
Right.
It
probably just was, like I said, undermining the sidewalking, curving drainage.
It hurt like.
Oh, I can imagine.
Your favorite tree all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think most cities up north, because I did grow up north, have a similar thing. You've got the house, your front lawn, the sidewalk, the easement, and then the curb and the street. Yeah. But it seemed like all of ours, the curb and from the curb and that easement were all grass.
Yeah.
And the trees were on the other side of the sidewalk.
Oh, okay.
So they didn't, even if the canopy got large.
the house, sidewalk, easement with the grass.
Right.
Yeah.
But in your easement is where the tree was.
Yeah.
We had a fire hydrant in ours, so.
They don't grow.
No, they don't. No,
they don't chop them down either. No, yeah.
They don't.
Paint them, though. They can paint them.
Yeah, they do paint them. They paint them red, and even with them bright red, I managed to trip over one time.
I'm not even going there.
Yeah, and I was not inebriated, so I was.
I didn't want to say that.
Yeah, but I
would have never thought that more than
twice. One right after the other. How could that? Yeah, no. Maybe.
That's
what happens. Yeah, it was in the way.
That's okay.
It was in the way. I was that child. But no, ours always was. It was a grass strip that you had to maintain. That's that kind of thing. And all the trees were on the other side. So when the canopy of the tree got large, it still wasn't going to interfere with the sidewalks because the roads were probably in Connecticut the same way where I was. They're actually kind of narrow.
Not ours.
And people parked on the street, and so it made one lane down the middle.
Well, not ours. Ours was, I don't know when it was built in the city of 1638, but when it got to where we were. But
right.
It was, the street that I grew up was a major thoroughfare.
Okay.
That went from one part to the other.
Right.
And you had parking on both sides, and then 2-lane highway. In between, two-way highway in between, and we had tractor trailers going back and forth. Yeah. So it was a good sized road.
That was a big road. Ours.
They couldn't go fast because the tractor trailers only had like 1.5 feet, maybe. Maybe
either side. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yes. Someone had one of those fancy cars with the mirror.
Gone. Yep, lost mirror.
Yeah, gone.
Grab those things. Nowadays it's handy. You got that button to bring the mirrors in.
Oh, you got one of those fancy cars?
No, I wish not. I've seen them in the parking lot, and I go, really? I'm not. My door doesn't open that far, dude.
Yeah. No. Well, some they close the door
automatically when you shut it and lock the car. Yeah.
No, pretty soon, we have gotten to the point where we're getting lazy.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting lazy.
Oh yeah.
But we won't talk about cars. That's for
Matt
the
next guy. He'll
be here at 10:00. Yeah. Matt Gibbs.
He hasn't even walked by yet, so we didn't even get ideas from him. But no, it's gardening season. Gorgeous day out.
It's gonna be 79.
It's like beautiful. I mean, this is spring. For us, this is spring. This is.
My flowers.
Actually, I think it's a degree below. If we were going to hit 79, a degree below average. But that's fine. It's chilly in the morning. You need a sweater to go out the door.
Yeah.
And you'll need that sweater in the evening if you're going to go sit out on the patio and have coffee or something. But during the day, you can't pick a better time of year. It's gorgeous. Everybody's out. They're gardening. It's time to put your fertilizer spreaders back in, unless you haven't done it. Get it done this weekend because we normally fertilize our lawns between 15th and 30th of March.
So you fertilize your lawns so they grow more, so you have to cut them.
So you come through and mow. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
What if you didn't fertilize? What would happen to them?
Depending on the grass will survive, but you will begin to get weeds coming in and things. If the grass starts to if you were to cut out all fertilization, additional irrigations and things like that, you would lose many of the lawns.
Really?
Or you would lose the quality. You have Bahia, so yours is going to be. Yeah, I remember your Bahia when you first. When you guys first moved in, I think it was. Came by, it's like you had the little antennas standing up on the front yard. That's a Bahia, which is a good grass. It's a pasture grass. It'll lift it. Yeah.
I got the other one, and it looks like a caterpillar.
You got St. Augustine in there too.
Also,
the wide blade.
Mitch is him. It's the stuff that decides.
It's green. It's mowed.
Well, it's the stuff that decides is going to grow across my driveway.
Hey. There you go. It's probably a weed grass. That one is.
I don't know,
but usually
they make the drive. You know how they make driveways and put the little slot in,
and it's going right across. Yeah.
And so it expands whatever the slot's for, and right there is where I got to pour the gasoline or the other stuff that kills it.
Yeah, not gasoline.
Not gasoline. No.
Please no. But you got to put it on silent.
I thought I did. I thought I put this on silent.
There's a commercial about that.
Yeah.
But no, they just hit the
I don't know how that silence.
Just
silence is golden.
But No, it's when we do fertilize our lawns, which most people do. Okay. Even if you're doing something simple like just the Florida Natural or manure type, where you're going to an organic kind of thing, you can do that anytime because you can do it multiple times a year because it's such a light feeding that's something you can put on a really regular basis because it's doesn't really necessarily force any growth. It nourishes the soil when you're doing that. Okay. If you're putting like the fertilizer down, the 1608s, the 24011s, whatever your numbers are in your turf fertilizers, those are timed out. Those are normally like every 3 months during the growing season. So we say March, and mid to end of March. Try to having that next one, March, April, May. They say June, sometime in there. June's a little tough to get it in only because we start to get that rain. And when we start to get all the heavy rains, and it washes it away. There's never a real good time when the rainy season starts to fertilize.
Now,
but if you can get that done, say, in early part of June before the rains, and then again, we don't do the regular numbered fertilizers, and unless you're looking on the YouTube or the live stream, you're not seeing the little quote marks.
Oh, that's what that was.
That was the little quote marks. Yeah, didn't have birdies flying.
I thought it was caterpillars again or something.
No.
All right. What time of day do you slap the fertilizer down?
Usually early morning.
Okay.
Normally early morning. A lot of the bags, especially if you're using like a weed and feed, will tell you to put it on to damp grass. So you want a little bit of dew on the ground. A little dew. If we've been dry, I don't think there's been any dew out there.
No, I haven't seen
I think our humidity has been down that low.
No, I haven't. When I got out of the house some of the mornings, I've seen like a fog over all the.
Right, but that may have enough moisture to the top of the grass. Otherwise, what you do is you do it the morning after your irrigation, or you bump your irrigation on for just a couple minutes to get the grass
moist.
Just dampened, or take the hose, wet it a little bit, put that down. That's if you're using like a weed and feed type product, which normally I don't recommend.
What about at the beginning thatching it?
Is that one me or you?
That's mine again.
Yeah. But now it's on vibrate.
Yeah, now it's on vibrate. Here's the damn thing about it. That's what happens when you wear so many hats. You
can only do so many things at once.
That's it.
Thatching. Proper mowing and fertilization and watering usually prevents thatch. If you take care of the lawn correctly, you don't get the problem. And thatch is a problem. But some people will thatch. You would dethatch is what it is. You're taking the thatch out of there in order to be able to get back down to the dirt, because sometimes that thatch gets thick, it gets spongy,
it's that thing
it
you pull behind your lawnmower.
Yeah, and it's like power rakes and stuff like that.
No, mine it's like a little steel fingers that hang down.
And that pulls the grass. It's like almost like a power rake kind of thing. That
put it in behind. You put a couple of cinder blocks down so it doesn't bounce too much. And you just go.
Yep, just drive through. I mean, that takes out all the stuff. Right, seed, or you can water, put your fertilizer down. It's not something you need to do all the time.
I haven't done it in 8 years.
I was going to say, once a year maybe.
Oh, once a year.
Once every couple years. Yeah, it's not.
Oops, I'm falling behind, folks, again.
Oh, well, no, you don't have the lawn that has a big issue with thatch.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
and I've got that tree in the front, or that bush that you said, it needs all this special stuff, and it's got to be in the sun. I just let it grows like crazy.
I got to remember which one that is.
The one that has my light post in the middle of it. I showed you a picture of it. I brought a leaf into you, and that's the first thing that goes. Don't ask me what it's. You're
you have to bring me another leaf.
I have to look on the phone.
Send me a picture.
When we break at the bottom of the hour, I'll look at the phone and see
if there's still a picture on there. But
no, thanks a lot.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, we're pretty well done because we have entered.
What do I look like, a turkey? We're really well done.
We're done. Yeah, we're pretty well done. For lawn fertilization, and even for the landscape. I mean, if you're still putting plants in and things like that, putting a slow release fertilizer or a long time long feeder, 3 month, which most of your granulated will feed for like 3 months at a time. You can go ahead and do those, but usually, again, we do every 3 months, unless you're using one of those true polymer coated fertilizers where they'll tell you right on the label they'll last 4 months, 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, those kind of things. Just on those, follow the directions.
What about those sticks you stick in the ground?
I'm not a fan.
Not a fan.
I know there's some people that just love them, they swear by them, but the directions that I read and what I've learned over the years, the directions on those is to put them out at the drip line. And the drip line is the furthest, it's where the leaves, the far end of down, right, where the far end of the canopy of the tree hangs down, and you're putting them there. Your best feeder roots are within 2 feet of the trunk of the tree.
I even knew that.
And so if you're doing stakes out there...
What, are you trying to make the roots reach them?
I don't know.
Or is it...
And it's... I mean, I have people who swear by them. They love them. But I would rather get a bag of granular, throw it on the ground, up underneath the tree, up under that canopy in that 2.5 to 3 foot area right up underneath the tree. Give it a good drink. If the tree is mulched, throw my mulch back on it, and I'm good to go. It could be because people mulch their trees that people live like, because that way they don't have to move their mulch in order to put those fertilizer spikes.
Well, put them on the outside of the mulch.
Well, that's what I mean. They use the spikes on the outside, but for me, a granulated, you might move that mulch back, put your fertilizer down, put your mulch back on.
That's a full-time job.
No, because you're only doing it a couple times a year. And mature, established trees and shrubs, guess what? They don't need anything.
Oh, yeah, they're
I mean, you come in and you tell me you've got a 15-year-old magnolia tree. What should you feed it? And I go, nothing. Is it healthy?
Enjoy the blooms.
Enjoy it, and
don't park near it.
Don't park under it. Don't build a deck around it. Don't dig a hole. Don't work on your septic. Don't do anything within that canopy of that tree or the height of that tree. You'll kill it.
Yeah, sure.
You will. We lost a huge one.
Because somebody dug around it or something?
We had to have some work on a drain field.
And they messed the roots up?
Well, they had to. They had to get. They had one of those little baby bobcat things in order to dig up that old drain field. And even though it was, 15 feet away from the trunk of the tree, 20 feet away, it still damaged
and
roots.
It killed it?
It was on that same side. It took about a year. It took about a year after the work was done, and came out one day, and there was a limb that was dead, and there was another one that was dying. So we called an arborist, and an arborist came out, and she goes, "Do you want to know which one's next?" No, not really. What's your recommend? And she asked the questions and said, "Yeah, that's what did it." So we found a company and took it down, and that was a very expensive, because that was a very large tree. It was probably a good 40, 50-foot tree with a trunk on it. It took at least 2 people to put their hands around. Yeah.
We're coming up to the bottom of the hour. Figure that one. We're coming up to the bottom of the hour.
Yeah, we'll drive on that parkway.
Park on the driveway. I got you. Yeah. We'll do this in a minute.
We'll do this after the news.
We'll be right back with more Carol Ann Baldwin in the garden for your pleasure. Remember, 622-9622 is the number to call.
Casting from the Studios. This is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
U.S. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell lashed out at corporate America on Monday, warning CEOs to stay out of the debate over the new voting law in Georgia. Georgia employers Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines have spoken out against a law signed by Governor Brian Kemp, and Major League Baseball pulled the 2021 All-Star Game out of the state over the law strengthening identification requirements for absentee ballots in future elections. The Senate parliamentarian ruled on Monday that Democrats may use a procedural tool known as reconciliation to pass the $2 trillion infrastructure bill with zero Republican support. This now removes the potential Republican filibuster. New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern announced Tuesday New Zealand will open a quarantine-free travel bubble with Australia starting April 18th. New Zealand tourism industry and the New Zealand Chamber of Commerce say the plan could serve as a model for other countries to reopen safely. USA Radio News.
Hi, this is Pastor Greg, host of the Chosen Generation Radio Show. I like discounts, and I bet you do too. If you're age 50 or older, the Association of Mature American Citizens, AMAC for short, has plenty of discounts available for their members. Airlines, hotels, restaurants, auto insurance, and help with your Medicare plans. What I like most about AMAC is they understand my values, and they're fighting for them every day. Unlike the other guys that just talk a good game, AMAC is actually holding to my biblical Christian American constitutional values. It feels good to belong to a true American organization. Why don't you join me by calling them at 855-696-7930. That's 855-696-7930. Again, the number is 855-696-7930. And use the promo code Pastor Greg. That's Pastor Greg. And get your first year on me.
Hey, folks, the spring color is bursting out all over at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, and you got to come see for yourself. Coleus, one of Ocala's all-time favorites, are front and center, and they're doorbuster number one. Regularly $4.99, they're just $1.99. And how about those Indian Hawthorn? They're marked down from $8.99 to just $2.99. It's bottle brush time. Bob has a great selection, starting at just $24.99. And while you're there, be sure to mix and match a big flat of spring annuals, just $1.99 each, or get a flat of 18 for only $19.99. Look to Bob Wines for gorgeous hanging baskets. Buy one and get a second one for half price. And there's a BOGO on many perennials. Come buy one and get one free. Check us out, then head to Bob Wines on Southeast 38th Street, daily till 4:30, Saturdays till 3:30, in the same blooming place for going on 70 years.
You're getting ready to move and you work hard. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros. Trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
2 Men in a Truck. Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new truck.
Yep, we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too.
Well, as a matter of fact, join me, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive, every Tuesday at 10 for auto repair with personal care right here on The Source.
Do you have an awful-looking chip or crack in your car's windshield? Let K&K Glass fix it. K&K Glass is Florida's largest source for glass, and in our 27th year, we're serving more than 57 counties throughout the state of Florida. K&K Glass can repair or replace any windshield that falls victim to our busy roads and highways. K&K Glass always provides free estimates, free mobile service to you, and a nationwide warranty. With contact-free service options and a UV disinfection to sanitize your vehicle, when you think of glass, think K&K Glass. Visit us today at kkglass.com. That's kkglass.com. Well, the new year is upon us, and that means getting to those forgotten projects that you promised you would. So whether you're tackling a small honey-do list or building the Taj Mahal, Sunbelt Rentals will help you get the job done right with the right tools. From carpet cleaners to excavators, Sunbelt Rentals has what you need. So what are you waiting for? Get it done. Rent it now from Sunbelt Rentals, located on Highway 27, just a half mile east of I-75, or visit sunbeltrentals.com. Get it done. Rent it now. Sunbelt Rentals. I'm sorry, that's the way it is.
It's not Halloween. So.
I know, but that music just
gives you the...
Yes. What's in your garden?
There you go. What's in your garden?
We're back with Carol Ann Baldwin
and you
here.
forgot to look at your pictures. You forgot to look and see if you had a picture of the tree.
Oh, I did. Well, I was busy doing the other stuff I was supposed to do. Yes, yeah.
Oops.
That's okay.
It's all good.
I can only do. I do one thing at a time.
That's it. Not a multitasker.
No, definitely not a multitasker. I've been told that you're not a good multitasker. I said good, but I like ice cream.
Yeah. Okay. Look, squirrel. Yeah.
Squirrel.
But
so sick in the head.
Yeah, sure.
Fits right in here.
It does. But this we're at a great time of the year. Things the vegetable garden should be coming along. Veggies are coming along. Your cooler season flowers are still doing okay. Which is nice because the warm season stuff hasn't come in yet. So we're beginning to enter a transition period of going from those winter cool flowers into our summer hot season stuff that's going to last. Your petunias, your
what a name.
Well, actually, your violets are probably maybe beginning to go downhill if they have not already. They don't like the heat. Petunias.
Then why plant them in Florida?
Well, because we plant them in the wintertime. That's, we need flowers that'll grow in the wintertime. We need flowers that'll grow in our springtime. Okay. But the pansies seem to go first. Petunias seem to be next. But then your vinca starts to come out.
I hate that when my vinca comes out.
I don't know why your vinca and it can come back every time.
Well, that's a good thing.
But vinca's sold as an annual, though it will perennialize.
Wait a minute.
Times
it's sold as an annual, but it will perennialize.
It can perennialize. Maybe not necessarily all the different colors, but sometimes it will either reseed itself, or depending on the winter, the stems will actually get woody over time, over years of growing them, and that you have to cut them back. Eventually, they start to get to be too much. You rip them up out of the ground and replace them. No. But the white ones seem to come back very easily, and I think some of the pink ones too, as well. There are some other colors, mostly whites and pinks and darker pinks, reds, and a purple. So if you're looking for something, red, white, and blue in the garden, which a lot of people like to do, and things like that, usually it ends up being red, white, and purple because there's not too many blue flowers in nature.
Blueberries.
Blueberries, that's a fruit. That's not the flower.
Well, the flower doesn't have blueberries.
The flower's not blue, no. But if you're looking, you can do blue plumbago and red fire spike and
these are all things just to look at.
Those are just to look at. If you're going to eat things, you can't worry. The colors you're not going to go with.
Blueberries
blueberries just a bush, and you got to have a place to put them. That's going to grow correctly. But you can get some different plants like that. Blue Days is starting to come out, back into the stores. The Blue Days is pretty nice. Yeah. A lot of people lost things last year, or they're not being patient. With our winter was actually
weird.
Was very cool. We didn't have the big hard freezes.
My flowers came up. They went away. They came up yet.
Yeah, we didn't really have too many big freezes or any hard freezes, but we just were below average temperatures. So I think that on some of the little more tropical plants that we can grow here, it was a little bit hard on them. And some people think that, it's wintertime, I don't need to care for them. Wrong. And that was, I actually spoke to a gentleman yesterday. I'm going, because he was saying his Hawaiian tie plant had died.
Well, I thought because he was wearing a tie, he was a gentleman. I'm sorry.
No, his Hawaiian tie had, and not tie stick, but Hawaiian tie, was dead.
Confused.
And I said, if you cut it back, it's apt to start to come back. It should be showing a little bit of signs. I said, a little bit of water, this and that. And he looks at me with a blank face. And I went, a little bit of water? And he's going, they haven't really gotten. And I'm going, even in the wintertime, plants need care. Maybe not a lot, but they do still need to be watered on an occasional, regular basis. Yeah. And so I think that's where his damage came in. But if you had plants that were within the landscape, I had one person come in going, my neighbors, they looked horrible 3 weeks ago when they were 5 feet tall, and now they're coming leafing back out. And I go, yes, they will. You just have to give it the time and the care that it needed. We have.
Now I'm going to show. I have a picture, a leaf.
We have a leaf.
March 17th, that was taken that picture.
That almost looks like, that looks like your grapevine.
Exactly.
Isn't it? Yeah.
That's my grapevine. Now, that was on March 17th. I didn't take a picture of it. I've seen it yesterday.
Okay.
It is full.
Well, what you need to do.
The whole thing is full, all the way across the canopy.
I need to invite you in the garden, and you can post those pictures, both of them, and go, Yeah,
look before. But that's how fast.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. It's not even half a month. It changes from that little.
It went from one little leaf, to
the full blown.
Yeah. Well, and in earlier spring, you always see that pale green, that haze of green across the trees. Yeah. And then you walk out the next day and you look up and you go, oh, wow, they all have leaves.
Yeah, all the leaves are here.
It's not just a haze.
Yeah.
But
hazy days of summer.
No, not yet.
Yeah, think about it.
I know it's a good, but that's
that was
because
a segue.
Of it was, but that's for the heat of July and August.
Oh, no, those are the crappy
heat,
days
humidity, the dog day afternoons.
No, that's a bigger day.
But hazy days also, same kind of thing. But right now in our vegetable gardens, our tomatoes should be beginning to produce, depending on the variety. My tomatoes, I got them in the ground, I think a little late, or it's just, again, it's been cool. So it slows them down. I put like 3 pictures on the In the Garden page. One's just one of the squash blossoms because I couldn't really get into where the little squash was. But I'm getting lots of squash blossom, and yes, they are female, so I'm getting squash. I had some, the little peppers are actually a sweet snacking pepper. And so, those little ones that you buy at Publix for a fortune in the little bag for like $3 or $4. Well, I'm growing some of them. And the third picture is looking down into my pineapple. Well, this pineapple.
It takes a long time for a pineapple.
It can
4 years.
From planting to first pineapple is like 18 months. So a year and a half.
Yeah, but I mean not edible. It's got to grow.
That's for the plant to reach maturity to start to put on a flower spike. Yeah. Then it puts the flower spike on, which that's your pineapple going to be. And it takes. I mean, I
heard
this
4 years.
pineapple.
I don't know.
No, it doesn't take that long. It takes months, 4 months, 6 months.
What?
4 months, yeah.
Okay.
But it takes a year and a half to take that plant atop. But see now this one, and I had always been, and I haven't done the research, and I need to. I had always been under the impression that pineapples made 1 pineapple per plant, and then would put baby plants out that would then produce your next ones. I'm getting pineapple out of the same plant. I know it's the same. I only have 1 in that pot. And this is coming right from the middle. I did not lose that other one. And this has got the same burn-up bag leaves on the bottom.
Twins.
Well, I mean, one was last year and this one's this year's. But
it's something.
Yeah, it was one of those things. It's like, okay, I was always under the impression that pineapples made 1, just like other bromeliads. Bromeliads make 1 flower, and then gradually that plant dies off, and the small ones overtake, and the one when it dies off is actually just feeding the other ones. I'd have just left it unless it rotted, needed pulled out. But nothing ever rotted out of this. So anybody else with any experience, you throw it on the
622-9622 is the number to call.
And or put it on the In the Garden page as well. And fill me in. Fill me in on that.
352-622-9622.
There you go.
Just in case you're watching on YouTube, you know where we're broadcasting from. Yeah, you can see it in the background, WOCA. The logo's right on there, but we're in Ocala, Florida. Right. Now, I've seen this seasoned citizen. Mm-hmm. She says, I would love to do the gardening.
Right.
But it's too low.
Raised beds.
So what this man has done, he's got the plastic barrels, the big 55-gallon drums. Mm-hmm. He sliced them in half.
Long ways.
Yep. Flipped them. Mm-hmm. And then built the frame around them, about 3.5 foot off the ground. Mm-hmm.
And drill holes for drainage.
Drill holes. And he's going to put like 2 or 3 of them side by side, so they.
So you've got a nice bed of them, so that you can walk around.
We can walk around. I'm going. Yeah. I like that.
Yep. You can paint those barrels a pretty, if you want.
Ones.
Well, no, okay. Well, so he got the plastic ones.
As I said, plastic.
Oh, okay.
Did I say plastic at the beginning?
Just barrels, I think, is what it was. But it doesn't. You could do the steel ones also.
They rust. So the plastic you use year after year after year.
And you can take what you could do, because there's even in half, they're still kind of deep.
Sure.
And to assist with drainage is on that bottom section would be to create a small framework and put like hardware cloth or something to where just up off the bottom to where you can drill plenty of drainage there.
Yeah.
And then you'll be able to put stone or anything down in there, put some landscape fabric across that to where you're not filling that whole thing, but you've got better drainage because you figure that water can't go.
Oh, so the earth would stop it from, anywhere
out. When we plant in the ground, we get 4 inches of rain. It has a place to disperse to.
We plant into the sand.
Well, it's in the ground, into our sandy soils. I use containers. I have a very wooded yard. It's hard to dig a hole.
Yeah.
So all of mine are, well, not all. I do have plastic pots now this year. It's like I needed more containers, but I use fabric pots where the water comes out. Yeah. But something like the half a barrel, you would want to take and drill some decent sized drainage holes. Don't just go little 1/4 inch holes. Go like 1/2 inch, maybe 3/4, and then put some landscape fabric or coffee filters over those holes.
What about a screen?
Put some stone. You can use screen. Put stone down and on top of that, and then again put something across that so your dirt doesn't all go down and mix it and clog that up, and that way you've got really good drainage.
Yeah. Now, what type of soil would you put in there?
Because those are as large as they are, I would probably mix a potting mix and a garden soil.
Potting
mix and the garden blend. Potting mix is very light, a lot of sphagnum peat moss that's ground, very fluffy, very it doesn't
it's fluffy.
It's fluffy. It's meant for potted plants so that it drains real well. But in a big container, I don't know if you'll get the support that your plants need and holding of enough moisture in a big pot like that. So like my big.
So you'd mix it half and half.
I would probably mix it about half and half, or at least if you went with garden soil, using some more perlite than what comes in the bag, those kind of things. So where
So by next week you'll have a formula for me for half a barrel. What I have to put in.
Half of a 55 gallon.
It's cut. If you put a 55 gallon down. And you slice it vertically, not horizontally, vertically.
Vertically.
So give you those two long halves. How much of what would be 1/2 of that? So did you hear the clicking?
I turned on a pen. Oh, and I'm holding it up to the mic so you can see it. I know some days are like that.
What I wanted to say, I can't say on the air.
Volume is what you want to know. The volume of.
No, I want to know how much of each is on one side.
Right.
The mixture.
Yeah, the volume. How much?
So I need a half pound of this and a pound of this and I just, if I need 2 of them, I just double up, but just for that one side.
Right.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you.
So
that way.
See.
So that way.
I mean, it should be. It's going to be the same amount as one that was cut horizontally, but because they're both, if you cut them in half, it's still going to be the same volume.
Yeah, right. But, let's see. No, because if you cut it in half, it would be deeper.
But no, it's still going to hold the same amount.
But it would be deeper, though.
It would be deeper, but it's still going to be the same volume.
When you slice them in half, you slice them in half, let's see, you slice the 55-gallon plastic drum is standing. You slice it in half. You open it up like a sandwich. Okay. Mm-hmm. You cannot put corn in that, but you can put some. No, you don't need.
Right. I mean, depending on what you're planting.
So the other way.
But it's still the quantity of material going to go in is going to be the same.
So if I wanted to plant corn or something with a deeper root, I would cut it horizontally.
Right,
and
right,
use
yeah.
that.
You would use it. Right, you would use a different type of container, a larger,
Well, I can still use
you can still 55-gallon drum.
But it's sliced.
It would be cut
because
differently.
when it's open like a sandwich, the amount is the same, but it's spread out.
Right, but it's spread further. Right, it gives you more room because you could plant. Actually, one of those would make a wonderful little herb garden.
Oh,
kitchen herbs and kind of thing, and on the other side, you could do depending on how high you want to do your legs.
What is spearmint?
Spearmint is an herb. It's in the mint family.
I had wild spearmint growing on the side of my house.
Oh wow!
Up north, and you couldn't kill it.
It's once that stuff's rooted, you can't.
But you walk around.
One time
it smells so good.
I made the mistake of I planted chocolate mint in with strawberries.
I never knew that.
Yeah, it smells like chocolate mint, and it's like chocolate and strawberries. It was kind of being goofy. The mint took over.
Killed the
strawberries?
Kind of
choked out my strawberries.
Oh man!
I was bummed. I ripped the mint out.
You would have had to been in there picking it out every day.
Yeah. So it was, it kind of grew. It was way more aggressive. Mint can be very aggressive.
It just stood in the corner, like on an outer corner of the house.
And in an area where it got mowed when it came out of its area, probably.
Probably, yeah. It got mowed. And also the water off the roof, the spout was right there.
It was happy as could be.
It smells so doggone good.
Yep, just go through and bruise them.
I have that plant next to my lanai in the backyard, and when that starts blooming, that's when I go out and sit a cup of coffee.
Just breathe.
That's
one of those things. Because
and watch the lizards go. Bloop, bloop, bloop,
run all over the place. Yeah,
I had a little problem. I had a little problem last week on my screen. I heard.
Squirrel.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, squirrel's got to go.
Yep. I just go. Phew. They haven't come back. They hadn't seen a human before, apparently. And they haven't seen me with my mouth.
What are you doing? Thought you were going to eat it. Thought you were going to bite them.
Yeah, they took off. Well, I always have two. They mate.
Right. Well, you always got a pair.
They're in the yard. And they never came to the house. They go all around the house, but they never came to the house. And I leave that little, get.
You'll have to with your grapevines. You'll have to watch because if your grapes are producing grapes, creatures love your grapes too. More,
they do.
As much as you do.
But they haven't really messed with them that much over the years.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, that's good.
I'm thinking hawk.
Good. Maybe, because you have a fairly open property and open in your neighborhood, so there's plenty of room. For that hawk to see.
We have two hawks.
To see and hunt. Yeah.
And they come and my front light that hangs in my foyer, I guess in the front of the house, it's got the bird in there again.
Oh yeah, the wren's got it. Yeah.
The little bird, the thing's only about
little wrens. Yeah.
But I get it. It's at the end. They're all gone. I clean it out, clean it all up. Right. Okay. And every year I say to myself, but I always say to myself, I'm going to put a little screen in there so they can't get in anymore. And I forget.
Yep.
And before I know it,
you look up and you go, oh no.
There's all the
stuff on the ground. Yeah.
That's what clued me. I don't walk in my head looking up.
No.
I look up and there it is, all packed. Yeah. Then I look down, there's all the poop. That's it.
Yeah.
So
when
it's on the pressure washer and
clean it out. Put the screen in then.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Yeah, when you clean it out,
that'd be a good idea, though.
Yeah. Keep it out so that you can use your porch light. Yeah.
Well, if it's cold, I turn it on for her.
Oh yeah, keep her warm. Of course, is it an LED or is it a?
No, that one's still a regular one. It's not the LED yet.
Oh, okay. Well, watch you don't catch your nest on fire. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they get a little warm.
I don't do that.
No, but good stuff going in the gardens. Yeah, and the birds are nesting anywhere you hang something up. Don't leave a hat hanging off your garden hat outside. They will see it and they will automatically make a nest in it within moments.
Really?
One time I hung laundry out and I'd hung the laundry on the clothesline, come in with the basket, and I looked back out the window, just casually turned and looked, and here's a wren sitting on the front of a pair of jeans looking in going, oh, look, honey, they're making condos for us now, And so it was like, really? It's, I just
Are you serious? Are you serious?
And just, so don't leave your garden hat out hanging on a post. They will make a nest in it. Don't leave your mailbox open. They will make a nest in it.
Oh, yes, yes.
I mean, and last year I had the battle because my mailbox doesn't always stay shut. So the guy comes by and he shuts it and it comes open sometimes. And I come home and I'm going, okay. It came open earlier, and okay, let me get the mail, and okay, there's nothing in that nest yet. Shoop, clean it out, shut the mailbox. Well, because I don't want them to shove mail in there and maybe break eggs or hurt baby birds too.
Well, the thing is, when you close it, they're going to die.
And because they can't get out or they can't get in, and it's
no, it's not going to happen.
Those,
once in a while, I'll come home and my mailbox is open, and I'll look at it. In my mailbox, you slam it, and it holds.
Stays, yeah.
So I'm saying, I don't know, it's the mailman or mailwoman,
right.
Mail carrier.
Postal carrier, because they're not even mail carrier.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm politically incorrect as usually I am. Sound like that Republican from Kentucky.
Your postal carrier.
My postal carrier, that doesn't have the strength to close it.
No, I think sometimes they just
pop it,
and it doesn't. Yeah, they're not. They weren't quite in the right spot.
I'm worried about their car.
Yeah.
Because they come close to it. They boom and they pop it. And if they don't turn it and it pops open, they're going to wreck my mailbox, and then they're going to mess up their car at the same time.
We got a new mail truck, postal truck, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And actually, before that one came into service, we actually got a letter in the mail that we were getting a 2021. Our postal carrier was getting a brand new vehicle, and would we please make sure that any overhanging branches, limbs, or vines were trimmed back as to help keep this as a newer looking vehicle longer. And yes, I
can see their point.
Went out there and trim, and cleaned it all up.
Well, they don't know who they're messing with here. Master Gardener knows what she's doing.
I'll go out and cut it all back for you, around mine, so that you can get to it easy. Didn't want an ugly letter going, hey, your branch is going to scratch and I'm not going to deliver mail to you. They can do that.
Sure.
If they cannot get
it's federal.
If they cannot get to your
they can't.
Mailbox.
Fire. The only thing they don't say fire here. Sun, sleet, rain,
sleet, snow, dark at night. Unless it freezes down. If there's if they can't get to it, they will not deliver. If they,
but they can get to it.
They could. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad for those who don't.
Well, now when we had the hurricane, it was a little harder to get to it because we had a couple big trees across the road. But
so what did your? We have about a minute to go. What is your website and your phone numbers and all that good stuff?
Yeah, don't do any phone numbers, but I do have the In the Garden Facebook page. It's a group page, so you do have to ask to join.
Aww.
But simple as that. It's and if you know somebody
how do you do it? You just go In the Garden.
In the Garden, go look under groups. And look for In the Garden.
On
and
Facebook,
we happen to be on Facebook.
Okay.
We are the one out of Ocala, because apparently there's another In the Garden page, but I believe it's out of Sarasota. So they're both out of Florida, but mine's out of Sarasota.
So I'm going to put Ocala.
Ocala, yep. All right. And I welcome anybody on board. Just don't try selling sunglasses or subscriptions. If you know of a garden club meeting,
it doesn't work that way.
If you have a garden club meeting that you'd like to mention to somebody, please do. Otherwise, join us on Tuesdays right here.
Right here on the Source.
On the Source.
Carol-Ann Baldwin's packing up, ready to rock and roll. You going to work today?
Yeah, I got to go to work. I got to go grab my lunchbox.
She's going to go in a big box store and work.
Yep, go to the big box store.
But we appreciate you coming in every
Tuesday morning, unless I get
your tooth worked on.
Yeah, unless I have a dentist appointment that runs too long.
Well, we appreciate you very much so here.
Have a good day, everybody.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA.